Good afternoon. This is All India Radio and I am Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to reply to the motion of thanks on President's address in Rajya Sabha a short while from now. BJP releases manifesto for Tripura Assembly elections. Urban 20 City Sherpas meet begins in Ahmedabad in Gujarat. Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw to launch Digital Payments Utsav this afternoon to promote digital payments across the country. IMF lauds India's strong economic performance and digitalisation of economy. And in cricket, Australia were 172 for 6 against India in the first innings of Nagpur Test a short while ago. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will reply to the motion of thanks to the President's address in Rajya Sabha a short while from now. In Tripura, BJP National President JP Nadda released party's manifesto Sankalp Patra 2023 for Assembly elections in Agartala today. Addressing the event, Mr. Nadda said that the BJP took the manifesto very seriously and always committed to fulfill the promises made in it. He said that the BJP curbed corruption, insurgency, criminalization after the party came to power in 2018 and the development process was initiated. He said that the BJP has brought peace and prosperity in the state. Meanwhile, other parties are also holding rallies across the state today. Left leaders Manik Sarkar, Prakash Karat and Brinda Karat held rallies for the party candidates. Congress, TMC and other candidates also trying to woo the voters. In Meghalaya, tomorrow is the last date for withdrawal of nominations. Scrutiny process was conducted successfully in all 12 districts across 60 assembly constituencies of Meghalaya yesterday. After scrutiny of nomination papers of 375 candidates were found valid, out of which 36 are female candidates. Meanwhile, Election Commission is taking many initiatives to increase the voter turnout. Chief Electoral Officer of Meghalaya, F.R. Kharkongar, told AIR News that to increase the voter turnout, Commission will give a vote to the first 5 voters and 5 first-time voters of every polling station in the state.
The first-time voter will be given these medals. This is for 2 categories. One is for the 18 plus who have just enrolled and another is for the first-time voters. So these are for the first-time voters who have just enrolled. They'll be given this certificate cum medal, and also the first 5 voters in every polling station, they will also be given a medal and a kind of a recognition. So because our polling starts at 7 o'clock in the morning, so to encourage people to come early to vote, we're giving the first 5 voters of every polling station medals. So these are called the first 5 early voter medal.
In Nagaland, campaigning for assembly elections is gaining momentum after the filing of nominations. Our correspondent reports that various political parties are making all efforts to woo the voters.
Candidates of different political parties representing 60 assembly constituencies of Nagaland have kick-started their campaigning by holding rallies and meetings. Political parties are also reaching out to the people through the medium of radio, televisions and social media platforms, highlighting the party's manifestos and achievements. Chief Minister and intending candidate of NDPP, Nipurio, earlier informed that Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Union Home Minister Amit Shah will be arriving in the state during the second and third week of this month for campaigning. Over 10 political parties and independents are in fray for the upcoming state election with a total of 200 candidates including 4 women candidates. For AIR News, Asunyo from Kohima.
Electronics and Information Technology and Communications Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw will launch the Digital Payments Utsav in New Delhi today. A comprehensive month-long campaign, Digital Payments Utsav, has been planned from today for the promotion of digital payments across the country, with particular focus on G20 Digital Economy Working Group event cities, namely Lucknow, Hyderabad, Pune and Bangalore. The event will have the release of G20 co-branded QR code and a coffee table book showcasing India's journey to global leadership in digital payments and digital inclusion. It will also witness the flagging off of digital payment Sandesh Yatra with the aim to make citizens aware of various digital payment solutions and sensitize them about the security and safety of digital payments. Government has said that despite serious fluctuations in the international market, the government has been able to maintain a static price for the LPG in the past few years. Replying to supplementaries during the question hour in the Lok Sabha, Petroleum Minister Hardeep Singh Puri informed that LPG, which is purchased under the Saudi contract price, has seen over 300% hike in recent years. He said, on the contrary, the centre has not let the price rise in the international market to affect the consumers in India. Mr. Puri further said that similarly, the government has also checked the going price of petrol and diesel, and there has been no price hike of these products since April last year.
Price of petrol and diesel, they have not gone up since 6th April last year. Throughout the world, the increases are astronomical. In India, petrol and diesel prices in the OMC pump have not gone up since 6th April of 2022. We have not allowed the increase in the Saudi contract price to be reflected in the domestic price.
India is one of the fastest growing aviation markets in the world and is already the third largest domestic aviation market. This information was given by Minister of State for Civil Aviation, General V.K. Singh, in a written reply in the Lok Sabha today. He said government is proactively supporting the aviation sector by providing a stable policy environment and incentivizing competition-led growth. The centre has also formulated helicopter operation policy to encourage helicopter operations, creating demand and growth. The minister said at present there are 30 international airports in the country. Union Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia has said that MBBS seats in the medical colleges have been increased by 94% in the last 9 years. In a tweet, he said in 2013-14, the number of MBBS seats was around 51,000, which has been increased to over 99,000. He said government is strengthening medical education across the country. The minister said the number of postgraduate seats also increased by 107% from over 31,000 in 2014 to over 64,000 now. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Northeast Diary program broadcast every Thursday at 5:30 p.m. brings very interesting and enchanting stories from the 8 Indian states of Northeast India. Northeast Diary this week, on the 9th of February 2023, brings an exclusive interview with the Gangtok-based environmentalist and organic farmer Dr. Ghanshyam Sharma. Looking forward to seeing you there.
A 2-day Urban 20 City Sherpas meeting began today in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. The meeting aims to focus on promoting solidarity among cities to find common solutions that are in sync with the overall objectives of the G20. This is the third of the G20 events which has been held in Gujarat as part of India's presidency of the G20 or Group of 20. One of the engagement groups of G20, the U20, provides a platform for cities from G20 countries to facilitate discussions on key issues of urban development such as climate change, social inclusion, sustainable mobility and affordable housing, and propose collective solutions. The U20 highlights 6 priority areas: environment-friendly behavior, water security, climate finance, local identity, urban planning and administration, and digitization of urban amenities. Over 30 international cities are participating in the 2-day event to discuss the sustainable development of cities. After the meeting concludes, a draft communiqué will be finalized that will be issued during the mayoral summit later this year. The first G20 Environment and Climate Change Working Group meeting that began in Bangalore today deliberated on issues of forest fire and restoration of land affected by mining. The Director General of Forest in the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, C.P. Goel, informed that the meeting today was very informative when the best practices in forest conservation were shared by the member countries. Today's meeting deliberated on critical areas of restoring mining areas and forest areas affected by fire. During the meeting, India will share its experience in the biodiversity restoration measures, Project Tiger, grassland ecosystem restoration and species restoration. The delegation will be taken to Banerghata National Park, agroforestry and ecosystem tourism projects. The International Monetary Fund (IMF) has appreciated India's strong economic performance in challenging global times and its role at the forefront of digitalisation of the economy. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman and Managing Director IMF Kristalina Georgieva today held a virtual conversation to discuss the upcoming G20 finance ministers and central bank governors meeting scheduled to be held in Bengaluru later this month. Kristalina Georgieva also appreciated India's contribution of $50 million for South Asian Regional Training and Technical Assistance Center in Delhi, which is in partnership between IMF and India. She said this will further strengthen India and IMF's role in building capacity in the South Asia region. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is replying to the motion of thanks to the President's address in Rajya Sabha. Now we go over live to Rajya Sabha.
Honorable members, take your seats. Honorable members, honorable members, honorable members, take your seats. I call upon honorable members to observe decorum and take your seats. Honorable members, honorable members.
We will come back to the Rajya Sabha later. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the Uttar Pradesh Global Investor Summit 2023 tomorrow. He will also inaugurate Global Trade Show and launch Invest UP 2.0. Uttar Pradesh Global Investor Summit 2023 is the flagship investment summit of the UP government. It will bring together policymakers, industry leaders, academia, think tanks and leaders from across the world to collectively explore business opportunities and forge partnerships. Investor UP 2.0 is a comprehensive investor-centric and service-oriented investment ecosystem in Uttar Pradesh that endeavours to deliver relevant, well-defined, standardized services to investors. Indian National Security Advisor Ajit Doval stressed the well-being and humanitarian needs of Afghans. Participating in the 5th multilateral meeting of Secretaries of Security Council and National Security Advisors on Afghanistan in Moscow, Russia, Mr. Doval said India will never abandon the Afghan people in their time of need. Mr. Doval added that Afghanistan is passing through a difficult phase. He noted that India has a historical and special relationship with Afghanistan, and well-being and humanitarian needs of people of Afghanistan is India's foremost priority. The death toll in the earthquakes in Turkey and Syria has crossed 15,000. Rescue workers have warned that the toll are likely to rise further, with many people still trapped under the rubble. Rescue workers are struggling to reach some of the worst hit areas. Australia were 174 for 8 against India in the first innings of the first cricket test of the 4-match Border Gavaskar Trophy in Nagpur. Australian skipper Pat Cummins won the toss and opted to bat first. India's Mohammad Siraj and Mohammad Shami provided India with early breakthroughs as they sent openers Usman Khwaja 1 and David Warner 1 back in the first 3 overs. Surya Kumar Yadav and K.S. Bharat are making the test debut for India today. India go with 3 spinners Shubman Gill and Kuldeep Yadav not playing in the playing 11. Australia are playing 2 off-spinners in a test after 35 years. Todd Murphy is finally making his debut. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is replying to the motion of thanks on the President's address in Rajya Sabha. BJP releases manifesto for Tripura Assembly elections. Urban 20 City Sherpas meet begins in Ahmedabad in Gujarat. Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw to launch Digital Payments Utsav this afternoon to promote digital payments across the country. IMF lauds India's strong economic performance and digitalisation of economy. And in cricket, Australia were 174 for 8 against India in the first innings of the Nagpur Test a short while ago. And for details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the Midday News.